Yo, what's going on guys, it is Fox298 here, and today is the day where we finally get to see the F1 2020 Vietnam Grand Prix circuit in Hanoi showcased for us here today. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and play the clip of the entire lap in full with no interruptions from me whatsoever, and then what we'll do is as soon as the clip is done, we're going to come back, have a look, just give sort of impressions, my personal opinion on the circuit itself, and then we've got a couple of screenshots as well that they've also released for this. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video then. So first of all, let's go and show you guys the clip of the entire lap of the Hanoi Street Circuit without me interrupting. So let's get straight into it. Alright then guys, so that was the Hanoi Street Circuit in full, given to us here today, obviously by Codemasters. And starting things off then with my personal opinion on the race, on the circuit itself, I actually think it's really, really good. So having a look at the car now on board and just taking through some sections of the lap. So obviously the lap starts off, it's quite a quick start to the lap actually, and there's plenty of room to make some moves going in towards turn 1 and in towards turn 2 by here. It's quite interesting. One thing that's going to be quite strange is that pit exit by there. That's going to be a little bit confusing, I think, especially if there's drivers coming out of the pit. You're sort of going to have to be careful of that. It's a bit of a strange pit exit here, but as we go down now towards the other long straight here again, there's plenty of overtaking spaces, and the backdrop as well for the circuit is absolutely beautiful. That chicane there you can definitely take some liberties with and probably just, you know, get a couple of extra tenth of a second or two out of it, which is very, very nice. Now we go on to what I believe is going to be the first of the two extremely long straights on this track, and yeah, I mean, it's going to be very, very interesting. Obviously, you're going to try your best to try to defend, but it's going to be very, very difficult, and you can literally just see how long you're in full throttle for. It's absolutely incredible, and like I said before, this is the first end of the hairpin, so again, it's an opportunity for you to go for an overtaking move, but what I really like about having two mega long straights like this is, even if you get mugged off on the first long straight, you know, you can slip back into the slipstream, and if you don't quite you know, get it all together, you've then got the second long straight to really go for it. This section here, though, is absolutely beautiful. The way that you can just flip the car left and right, taking through different gears and trying to be a little bit ambitious with the way that you go through each of the corners is just really, really nice. It's very, very well flown of a circuit there. And as you're coming towards the final corners now, that's the second to last corner, and then you've got to try and carry the speed across the line to the last corner there. So there's a lot of elements to the circuit itself, which I think is really, really good, and something that needs to be looked at quite a bit just for the future. In terms of, you know, like, a lot of people obviously were kind of worried about the track itself, especially when it first got released to us. But first of all, like, I think what we could say is the first thing is it's quite a wide circuit actually. There's a lot of moments, even, you know, in the heavy braking zones as well, where you would actually be able to go at you know, maybe even quite easily at 3 wide in some moments on the circuit. It just seems that there's enough 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 space for you to do that. And I think that's a great thing for everyone, is that we can actually race side by side quite a lot. And in terms of the street circuits that we've got at the moment, obviously with Monaco, we've now got, well, we've got 4 main street circuits. Obviously, you kind of include Canada and Austria, and sorry, not Canada, Austria. You know, Canada, Australia, Russia, sort of into that mix there. But you can see that comparing to the 4 proper street circuits, you've got Monaco obviously being the most difficult to overtake at. Singapore, you probably say, is the second hardest in terms of overtaking, but there's plenty of places for you to actually be able to do that. Then we've obviously going to have Baku. That's a very, very easy track to overtake on, but it's also very, very difficult. It's very high speed. Then there's also a bit, like we said, the castle section is an absolute ball ache to get around. And then for me, Vietnam, I'd actually say it's probably the easiest street circuit, I think, for us that are going to be racing around. There's a couple of braking zones which are really going to put you off, but apart from that, it's actually quite simple in a way. Let me know what you think. Do you think this is going to be an easy track to drive on? Obviously, you know, the only time I've driven on this track is on a Assetto Corsa. That's, like, you know, completely different. Yeah, it's gonna be quite fascinating. But gonna have a look at some of the screenshots then that Codemasters have brought out here. So this is going. The first one here is coming towards turn 2. We've got the pit exit here. We've got a couple of cars obviously all going side by side through here, and you can kind of get an imagination of what the start of a Grand Prix is going to be like when you're racing around Vietnam with a couple of these screenshots here. And I think, like I said, I think there's going to be enough to do it. It's going to be very interesting through the complexes of turns 1 and then 2. And turn 2 is actually a beautiful corner. It's such a nice, long and sweeping corner. It's very, very good. And I personally rather enjoy it, so I'm happy for it to be there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to move on now to the next screenshot here. And this is, again, this is kind of difficult to imagine where it's going to be. The first screenshot pretty much showcases the best of what the racing is going to be like. The second one, obviously, we've got Antonio Giovinazzi with the Alpha Tauri then in behind as well. And that's a very nice, just sort of a look at the environment that you're going to be racing in. And I really like all the beautiful, the backdrop of the buildings all in the background. I'm hoping that the exploration glitch that I do works, because that's the first thing I'll be trying on day 1. In fact, I've been trying it on the F1 2020 beta. Just don't tell Codemasters I've been trying it, but I have been. Not successful so far, which is worrying. But anyway, yeah, it's a very nice shot there of Antonio Giovinazzi. We've then got a nice high-speed resolution shot here from the Renault. This looks like turn 2, if I'm correct. It looks like it, but I could be completely wrong on that one. And the other thing to notice as well is there are quite a few areas where there are sufficient amount of runoff as well, which is very interesting for a street circuit. Obviously, Azerbaijan's got a lot of them. Monaco has none, pretty much, apart from the Nouvelle Chicane. Singapore's got 1 or 2, you know, if you make a mistake in there, but most of the time you don't really have that, whereas here in Vietnam, you seem to actually have 1 or 2 extra points where you can just get off of get back onto the circuit if you do make a mistake, which is nice in that sense. And then the last screenshot here comes from the picture of the Red Bull. It's on the exit of the chicane at the start of the lap, and it's a very nice shot in there as well. With what they seem to be mostly showing are the cars that have got their final car models in place. Obviously, as you see for all these gameplays, I mean, they're on the screens anyway. All these builds that everyone is playing as, they are work in progress. Obviously, they're not complete yet with the car models, that is to be precise. Yeah, that is going to be then this video of the Hanoi Street Circuit on F1 2020. If you did enjoy the video, feel free to drop it a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here as well. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think of the street circuit itself. For me, I think it's really, really cool. I can't wait to get my hands on the game and drive around it. It'd be absolutely awesome. But until then, we will see you guys for the next video very, very soon. So thank you very much for watching. Take care all, and peace.